Welcome to Presidential Dialogues, Legacy and Leadership, an engaging journey through the annals of American leadership. Our focus? 4 influential figures who have shaped the nation's course: George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Donald Trump, and Joe Biden. Their backgrounds, education, and occupations are as diverse as their political ideologies, each contributing to their unique presidential legacies. From the founding father who led a fledgling nation to the Civil War hero who championed unity and emancipation, from a business tycoon turned president who reshaped economic and immigration policies to a seasoned politician striving for consensus and social equity in a deeply divided country. As we delve into their stories, we'll explore the historical context of their presidencies and their enduring impact on modern America. So, buckle up for a fascinating ride through history. Join us as we dive into the stories of George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Donald Trump, and Joe Biden. George Washington, often called the father of his country, served as the first president of the United States from 1789 to 1797. Born in 1732 to a prosperous Virginia planter family, Washington's upbringing was steeped in the traditions of British colonial America. He was educated at home, receiving instruction in the classics, mathematics, and surveying, a skill that would serve him well in his early career. Washington's working life began in surveying, mapping lands in the Virginia frontier, but his ambitions didn't stop at mere land measurements. In 1752, he entered the military, serving in the French and Indian War, and quickly rising to the rank of colonel. Throughout these early years, Washington displayed a natural knack for leadership and a resilience that would later define his presidency. After the French and Indian War, Washington returned to Mount Vernon, a plantation he had inherited. He turned his attention to politics, serving in Virginia's House of Burgesses and later in the Continental Congress. Yet, it was the American Revolution that truly thrust Washington into the national spotlight. As commander-in-chief of the Continental Army, Washington led the colonies to victory over the British, demonstrating his strategic acumen and his steadfast commitment to the principles of liberty and self-governance. In 1789, Washington was unanimously elected the first president of the United States, a testament to his widespread popularity and respect. His presidency was marked by careful decision-making and a commitment to establishing a strong, stable federal government. Washington's 2-term presidency set a precedent that would be followed by most future presidents. He was instrumental in establishing the cabinet, the system of presidential advisors, and he oversaw the drafting of the Bill of Rights. His farewell address, warning against the dangers of political factions and foreign alliances, set a tone of caution and prudence that guided subsequent presidencies. As president, he set many precedents that still stand today. George Washington's legacy is not just that of the first president, but as a leader who shaped the very nature and function of the presidency itself. Abraham Lincoln, born in a log cabin in Kentucky, rose from humble beginnings to become the 16th president during one of the most tumultuous times in American history. Lincoln's story is a remarkable tale of resilience and determination. Born into poverty, his early life was marked by hard work and struggle, yet he possessed an insatiable thirst for knowledge. Despite having less than a year of formal education, Lincoln was largely self-taught, voraciously reading every book he could get his hands on. In his early 20s, Lincoln moved to Illinois, where he held various jobs, including shopkeeper, postmaster, and surveyor, before finding his calling in law. His distinctive storytelling style, combined with a sharp mind and a knack for logical argument, made him a successful lawyer. His legal career paved the way for his entry into politics. In 1860, amidst a nation divided over the issue of slavery, Lincoln was elected as the president. His presidency was defined by the Civil War, a bloody conflict that tested the very fabric of the nation. Lincoln navigated through this crisis with a steadfast determination to preserve the Union and a moral conviction to end slavery. In 1862, he issued the Emancipation Proclamation, a historic document that declared freedom for all slaves in the Confederate-held territory. This bold step not only changed the course of the war, but also marked a significant stride towards racial equality. 2 years later, Lincoln was re-elected, and in his second inaugural address, he urged his fellow countrymen to heal the wounds of the nation with malice toward none, with charity for all. It was a message of reconciliation and unity that resonated deeply within a war-torn nation. Sadly, Lincoln's life was cut short by an assassin's bullet in 1865, just days after the Civil War ended. Yet, his legacy lived on. His presidency during the Civil War and his dedication to preserving the Union while abolishing slavery shaped the nation profoundly. Donald Trump, the 45th president, brought a background of business and entertainment to the White House. Born in Queens, New York, to a wealthy real estate developer, Trump was the fourth of 5 children in a bustling family. His early life was marked by a mix of privilege and expectation. Trump's father, Fred Trump, was a stern and driven man who instilled in his children the values of hard work, determination, and business acumen. After finishing high school, Trump moved on to higher education. He spent 2 years at Fordham University before transferring to the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania, a prestigious business school. There, he earned a degree in economics, launching him into the world of business. Trump's career began in his father's company, where he learned the ropes of real estate development. Over the years, he transformed the business into the Trump Organization, becoming a prominent figure in the real estate industry. His successes and even his failures were always in the public eye, culminating in his starring role in the reality TV show, The Apprentice. His catchphrase, "You're fired," became a cultural touchstone, reinforcing his image as a tough, no-nonsense businessman. Trump's transition from business to politics was unexpected for many. His presidential campaign was marked by his flamboyant style, controversial statements, and a promise to make America great again. Despite the controversy, he secured the Republican nomination and won the presidency in November 2016. The historical context of Trump's presidency was one of deep divisions within the United States. His term was marked by a robust economy, significant tax cuts, and deregulation, but also by controversies over immigration policies, trade wars, and the handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. Trump's presidency focused on economic policies, immigration reform, and reshaping the federal judiciary. All these actions and decisions, whether praised or criticized, have left an indelible mark on the nation, shaping the political landscape for years to come. Joe Biden, the 46th and current president, entered the presidency with over 5 decades of political service. Born in Scranton, Pennsylvania, in the heart of America's coal country, young Biden learned early on the values of hard work, resilience, and the intrinsic worth of every person. His early life was marked by hardship and tragedy, losing his father at a young age and later his wife and daughter in a car accident. These experiences instilled in him a deep empathy for those who have suffered loss, a trait that would become a hallmark of his political career. Biden's educational journey began at Archmere Academy in Claymont, Delaware, where he was class president and played on the football team. He then attended the University of Delaware, studying history and political science, before earning a law degree from Syracuse University. His education laid a strong foundation for his future political career, providing him with a deep understanding of American history and the legal system. His career in public service began in 1970 when he was elected to the Newcastle County Council. Just 2 years later, at the age of 29, Biden won a seat in the U.S. Senate, becoming one of the youngest people ever elected to the chamber. He would go on to serve in the Senate for over 35 years, during which time he chaired the Foreign Relations Committee and the Judiciary Committee, gaining a reputation for his expertise in international relations and criminal justice policy. In 2008, Biden was elected vice president under President Barack Obama, serving 2 terms and playing a key role in the administration's foreign policy decisions and domestic initiatives. His tenure as vice president was marked by his consensus-building approach, working across the aisle to get things done. Finally, in 2020, in the midst of a global pandemic and a deeply divided nation, Biden won the presidency. His presidency has been marked by a focus on healing the nation, addressing the pandemic, and working towards social equity. As a senator and vice president, Biden focused on foreign policy, criminal justice, and domestic policy, becoming known for his consensus-building approach. His legacy is still being written, but his dedication to public service and his commitment to unity are already clear. Having introduced our leaders, let's hear them discuss the legacies they believe they have left behind and how these continue to shape our nation. Washington, the founder of our great nation, believed in the strength of democratic values and nonpartisan politics to lay a strong foundation. Lincoln, the champion of unity and equality, saw the Emancipation Proclamation and the preservation of the Union as pivotal in setting a precedent for civil rights. Trump, with his focus on economic strength, border security, and America's sovereignty, aimed to ensure prosperity and security for future generations. Biden, our current leader, aspires to tackle critical issues like pandemic recovery, climate change, and social equity, with the hope of restoring the soul of the nation and bringing people together. Their stories, their legacies, their leadership all continue to influence and shape the America we know today. Stay tuned for our next episode where we dive deeper into the impact of these presidents on modern society and the future.